Welcome to Film Riot. This is episode 840. We have done 840 episodes. That is not that far for 1,000 episodes, which is crazy. And our 10-year anniversary is coming up, which is also crazy. I don't know why I'm talking to this. It just popped in my head. So I figured I'd share. Hey, we're friends, right? We could share this stuff with each other. Can we? What was your first ever short film, even before the days of YouTube, and what inspired you to make it? I don't really remember what my first short film was. I started making them when I was like 8 or 9, maybe 10 years old, and I would make stuff with my brothers and sisters. I do remember there was like one specifically where it was supposed to be like the haunted house on the street, which of course was just our house. But it had been raining. And so I took advantage of that. I was like, wow, look at this production value in the rain and the puddles, and then had them run to the house. And of course they have dialogue about how it's the creepiest house and they dare each other to go in, and really creepy stuff happened, like the faucet turned itself on and things like that. And then I remember I somehow showed a ghost. I think I did it through a piece of glass to make it look like a ghost, but we were just hanging something from a string. It was really terrible. And we'd hang objects from a string to make it look like they were floating, like the ghost was picking them up. But it was always trying stuff like that. I did another one where I took apart a firework of some kind, and I spread that along the ground, Mission Impossible style, and lit it so it would follow it, and it actually worked Mission Impossible style. And it was supposed to be this explosion, which the bomb was an air bomb. When it exploded, it released like this intense amount of air, and I used one of those like water cooler bottles, like an empty water cooler bottle. And then when it went off, it like pushed this car, and the one actor goes flying, and they're holding on to a pole, but they're sideways, and of course it's just somebody holding their legs off camera, and then this car is being pushed toward them, and it was a whole thing. We did a lot of stupid stuff. I don't remember the first one, but there's a couple examples of really stupid things I did. And then I went on to do stuff for a youth group, and I did that for years. And then I made like 4 in film school. And then after film school, an actress hired me to do like a few scenes for her to make it look like in her demo reel that she did all these short films. But I was just like, let's just do 3 short films. And we did those, which was like a romantic comedy of sorts, kind of. And then like this, addicted to drugs short film, of course. After film school, you have to do one apparently. And then this break-in scenario. All of them were absolutely dreadful. Is there a type of shot, lighting setup, and so on that you have wanted to use in one of your films that you haven't been able to because it doesn't fit the story? No, I don't really ever think in those terms of there's like this specific thing. I get excited about conveying what I'm seeing to an audience, so it's never like this pre-thought, I really want to do it this way and I haven't been able to do it. It's always more along the lines of, here's this moment and I want to tell it this way. So there's moments that I haven't been able to fit into something yet, like a sequence and an action beat, or a thrilling moment of some kind, or a comedic beat, whatever it is, or a story turn that I haven't been able to place in anything yet. So there's stuff like that, but not any kind of a shot. That always comes to me when I have the story element idea, or the sequence idea, or whatever it is, and then that all fits together in a package. What's one tip you'd give someone creating their first film? I'm assuming you're saying short film. If you're saying feature film, I haven't done that yet, so I wouldn't be able to give you any advice there. But for a short film, just dive in and do it. Keep it short, jump in, make your film, be passionate about it, make it the best you possibly can, and then learn from that, move on, do the next one. Just keep making things over and over and over again. That's the best way to learn, is to build that experience. And the more stuff you make, the more you're seeing the language of film as you're doing it. You're seeing the problems as they arise, instead of later you discovering, oh, that didn't actually work. You're actually seeing it while you're doing it, because all the experience that you've gained is allowing you to see all those things you weren't able to before. What are some simple story exercises you do if you want to generate ideas? I don't really have exercises. I get inspired by something which sparks an idea, and then I chase that idea just by thinking. I talk about it often. I think the shower is one of the best places to cultivate your ideas and really dive into things, because you have that constant sound that drowns out the entire world, and it's just this drone of a sound that's not specific and not distracting, and you're stuck in this place. You can't touch your phone, and you're comfortable. You got that warm water happening. And, I just find that ideas flow so easily in that scenario. Whereas when you're sitting at a desk, you have the internet, you have your phone, you have other distractions that come, things you hear outside. I'm distracted very easily. So for me, it's a matter of getting inspired somehow, which is usually from, something that I'm watching, reading, listening to, or just something in life in general. Just something sparks an idea that excites me. And then I just keep thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And those ideas start opening up to you slowly but surely. And then finding a way to have those moments of zero distraction where you can really hone in and focus on developing that idea in your head. That's at least how I do it. How to do a good pitch. I don't know. I've done a lot of pitches and I'm not 100% sure that any of them were necessarily good. But the best advice that I ever got is twofold. One, you have to have the confidence of I'm making this with or without you. I mean, not arrogance, but confidence. And then the idea of it's the same as telling your friend your idea, just being excited about the idea and telling it to whoever it is you're pitching to the same way that you would tell your friend, because that's what you're doing. The story's unfolding. You're giving the story as it unfolds. If there's twists and turns, they should come up in the right way. You have those setups and payoffs and, dialing it down to know what the exciting things about your story are and what the important things about character that you need to convey as well. And, practice it on your friends. Do you start to lose their attention? Then, whoever you're going to end up pitching to, you're going to lose their attention too. You have to be able to lock them in. And a great way to figure that out is just to pitch to everybody and make sure that they're locked into your idea. The second you see their eyes start to drift, you have a problem. Go back to the drawing board and start over. But again, it's something that I'm still trying to figure out myself. I've been pitching a lot recently. So I feel like I've learned a lot, but it's very difficult. You've done Westerns and sci-fi. Would you consider doing a magical adventure like The Neverending Story as a short? Yeah, I definitely would. It's a lot more difficult to pull something like that off with a very little budget. I don't have any short film ideas that would be in that sort of genre. However, I do have long format ideas that are in that genre that I've been developing for a few years that hopefully one day I'd be able to do, but it's a very big budget idea, so who knows? Domain.com is all your website needs, including .com and .net domain names and intuitive website builders so you can start creating your identity online. They're affordable, reliable, and have all the tools you need to build a new website and start sharing your ideas with the world on that professional website. No domain extension is going to help you tell your story like a .com or .net domain name, and if you want to brand yourself online, Domain.com has over 300 domain name extensions to fit your needs from .club to .space. Of course, they're giving you love by giving you 15% off their already affordable prices when you get domain names, web hosting, and email. Just use the coupon code FilmRiot at Domain.com's checkout, and when you think domain names, think Domain.com.
Logo.
So that's it for today, which means it's time for my suggestion of the week, and this is one about pitching, since we had a question about that. This one's about how to perfect a 2-minute pitch, I believe is the name of it. I don't remember the exact name, but I'll put the link below. I really like how he talked about getting into it, and that helped me a lot, because if you listen to my podcast with Seth Worley, which that's another good thing you could check out, is our podcast. We'll put a link in the notes below. I talked to Seth Worley about breaking into the industry and where we're both at, and we've been pitching a lot and doing that sort of thing and sort of the growing pains that go along with that. And there's always that little awkward moment where it's like, do I start the pitch now after you've gone through, the small talk? And this talks about how to bridge that awkward gap. So definitely check that out and the podcast. Link in the notes below. Until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.